My name is Bill Massey. I'm a lawyer in Washington, D.C. with the law firm Covington and Burling. Sure, I was invited by the Manning Center to provide a broader perspective on competitive electricity markets, to discuss the experience in the United States in moving to competition and away from monopolies. So my talk focused on the significant consumer value that is arising in the competitive markets in the United States with respect to innovation, opportunities to participate in efficiency programs, demand response programs, and pricing benefits as well. That was the scope of my presentation, and to talk about the march toward markets in the United States and any barriers that still exist. Consumers in restructured markets have done very well compared to consumers in monopoly regulated areas. I represent a coalition called the Compete Coalition. It's 766 companies that are organized around a single theme, and that is that competitive markets are good for consumers and good for America. About a fourth of our members are large customers, and I can just tell you what they say about the markets. They like the variety of products and services that they get in markets. They don't like the one-size-fits-all of the monopoly. They believe there are more innovative products and services in the markets. They really like choice, and they like the fact that in markets the risk of poor business decisions is on the suppliers and their investors rather than on the consumers. And this is a value that they find to be very significant. With respect to prices, we went back and looked at the data from the Energy Information Administration, and we went back 17 years to 1997. So we looked at data from 1997 through 2013, and we looked at rate increases in the monopoly areas versus rate increases in the competition areas, and we adjusted those for inflation. And what we found is that with no exceptions, the rates in the competition areas have decreased when adjusted for inflation over the last 17 years, while the rates in the monopoly regulated areas have actually increased. And this is true for all customer classes, residential, commercial, and industrial. There's simply one data point that's an exception to that, and that is for industrial consumers. I believe the rates in the regulated areas went up about 8.5% over that time, while in the competition areas they only went up 1.5%. In all other segments over that period of time, rates for the competition areas actually decreased compared to the rate of inflation. So it's very clear that over that 17 years, consumers in the competition states and areas in the United States have done better than consumers in the regulated areas. If a jurisdiction is feeling the pressure to re-regulate, to go back to the so-called good old days that weren't so good, my advice is stay the course, continue to move toward competitive markets. Who among us believes that an old-fashioned monopoly system or a government-owned system is going to achieve the innovation that we need in this industry over the next 20 years. We all intuitively understand that markets and innovation go hand in hand. Markets have shown themselves to be great laboratories for clean energy, and the large consumers that I work with believe they can get all the clean energy products that they want in markets compared with the one-size-fits-all. They like the fact that the risk is on the supplier, not the consumer. That drives the customers. So my advice is stay the course, continue with markets. You will achieve significant customer value over time. You will achieve much greater innovation than in the monopoly areas, and competition drives prices to the lowest available level, and we've seen that in the United States.